Welcome to the Leverage Show. Get more from your business and your life. Be sure to share your business questions and challenges with me at leverageshow.com, and I'll answer them on future episodes. So today, I want to share with you how you can replace yourself in your business and why you should aim to start doing that right now. So what do I mean exactly by replace yourself? What I'm talking about when I say replace yourself is remove yourself from needing to be there on a daily basis for the operational side of your business. You know, when it comes to things like launching new products or, taking on a partner or any sort of strategic decision, obviously those things you're going to need to be involved in. And so you're still going to be involved in your business. And even when you've replaced yourself, it doesn't mean obviously you can't be there. But I'm talking about from an operational standpoint, being able to replace yourself so if you aren't there, your business can still run, it can still function. You know, I had a brick and mortar business years ago, and I had 6 employees, and we used to build and custom configure PCs, and we would ship them all over the country, essentially all over the world, but mostly in the United States. And you know, one of the things that I was super proud. I was really young. I was maybe 22 years old, and I was super proud of having this business, and everything was going really well and stuff. But you know, I was always busy, and I was always more busy than I could even handle. I mean, I was working 16 to 18 hours a day. I was barely sleeping. I loved it. It didn't matter to me. But eventually it became a bit of a grind. And when I think back, I didn't even recognize it at the time. But when I think back to it, the reason for that is because my business ran. So I was the hub of everything and everybody else was a spoke. And so they would come to me for pricing decisions on products. I got a customer on the phone that wants to know if he buys 3 of these, can we give him a discount? I got a guy who is willing to buy this, but only if we can do overnight shipping. This particular PC that we built, for some reason, the mouse isn't working. Can you come take a look at it? We got an advertiser on the phone, that wants to know if we want to take out a new ad. I was required for every single function: purchasing, fulfillment, shipping, sales. And I didn't have to do all of the work myself, but I was there to answer questions and make decisions all the time. And at the time, it feels very empowering. It's a nice ego stroke. Everybody needs me. My business can't run without me. I'm the gas that makes this engine hum, baby. But the fact is, that's actually imprisoning, because if you go away, if you get sick, if you need a day off, you need to constantly worry, is the business even going to be able to run without me? You know, I was naive, I was young, I didn't realize it at the time, but it was a silly business model to have. I needed to empower everybody and teach them what to do so they could do this stuff without me. But instead, I was sort of the glue that held it all together. And so when I went away, I always had to worry about what was going to happen. So when I say replace yourself, what I mean is the ability to step back from the day-to-day operations and know that your business is still going to run. Okay, so let's transition now into then, why do you want to do this? Like, why is this so important? I mean, after all, there's a little bit of that fear of sort of, if people don't need me, then why is it like my business and why am I important? And you're always going to be vital to your business. It's still your vision. You're still going to need to make strategic decisions, but you need to let go of control. You need to be willing to delegate. You need to be willing to let some stuff go and let other people do that and empower them to do it. Because the reason you want to do it is, if you were to get sick, or if you did want to explore something else, or if you want to take your business in a new direction, you're going to need time. You're going to need space to be able to step back and think clearly with a clear head. Maybe you want to go on vacation. Maybe you want to, explore some other avenue with your business or take on something new that you're doing. For me, when I started this podcast, this wasn't in my normal business. So I needed to find time in order to make the decisions, do the work, shoot the episodes, do all the things that I needed to do. And there's no way I could have done that if I was 24/7. The other critically important reason for this is that you never know when things around you are changing so fast. And you never know when you might need to be able to pivot, when you might need to be able to take a look at the industry at large and be aware enough of your surroundings. One of the big problems that entrepreneurs face when they're head down in their business all the time is that they don't see stuff that's coming down the track. And so they're always late and reactive. And reactive businesses lose. Proactive businesses that see what's coming and make changes in advance, win. Reactive businesses lose. A perfect example of this that we're seeing happen right before our eyes right now is the online fantasy football with FanDuel and with DraftKings. They put their head in the sand and they were worried about marketing and growing market share and fighting with each other to create who was going to be the dominant player in the industry. And they ignored the coming storm of regulation, the coming storm of complaints and legal issues. And it's sent them both into a tailspin. And the final chapter of that story has not been written. So we'll see what happens. But that could have all been proactively handled and managed. And if one of those two did it, instead of worrying about market share, they'd own the market right now. And the other one would be fighting for its life. But instead, they worried about all that other stuff because they were in an ego battle about who was going to be bigger. So that's why you need to be able to do it. And the other thing is, it's extremely liberating. When you've been able to do this, you feel so free. You feel so empowered. Like there's so many more things you can do. And it's literally like turning on a light switch. When your head is down and you're working in your business and you're so busy in the daily grind, you don't even see the opportunities that are coming. As soon as you're able to step back from that, all of a sudden it's like, holy cow, I didn't even realize we could do this, we could do that. Look at how we could grow our business. So it opens up and expands an entire new level of business growth for you and personal growth as well. And so hopefully those are enough compelling reasons for why you want to do it. Now, let's talk about a little bit about how you do it. So I'm going to share with you 4 simple steps. The first one is to log everything you do. You start real simply. You are the CEO, you're the business owner, you're the sole proprietor, whatever your title is. Get a notebook out or some sort of digital logbook. And the first step is literally just for a week straight, log all the stuff you do. Track your activities, track your decisions, track your projects, track your interactions with people. Not in, gory detail, just enough so you can get a sense of how you're spending your time every single day and what the majority of your time is being used for and what kinds of stuff that you need to handle in order to be you. You got to know what your universe of responsibilities are. And that's how you're going to find it out, by tracking your time over a given week. That's the first step. The second step, which is a little bit harder, and this is where some time comes in, is you need to start to create a process or a rule for every single thing that you do. So if it's a task, if it's an activity, I'm going to shoot my podcast episode and I'm going to upload it to social media and I'm going to promote it. Okay, that's a process. I need to write down all those steps in a process order. You can use a mind map software or whatever floats your boat in terms of a way to catalog a process. What's important about it is do it in a way where it can be edited and do it in a way where other people can understand it if they see it. Okay, so that's what you want to do. And then for everything that isn't that, for everything that's a decision, well, this customer wants a refund, but it's been 10 days past the refund policy. This guy wants to know if we want to place a larger order, we can get a 10% discount on our raw materials for this next purchasing period. For anything that's a decision, you want to make a rule for. So let me give you an example of that. In terms of a process, what I would do for, say, the podcast is I would say, okay, come up with a show topic. That would be step one. If I don't have a show topic, go read some, business websites or a business book or something like that. Check to see if we got any questions submitted by entrepreneurs for things. Then come up with a show topic. Then write a short little blurb and bullet points about how we're going to structure the episode. Okay? Then shoot the episode. Then we're going to render it in this resolution. We're going to record this audio. Then we're going to, replace, our background. We're going to add our intro and our outro to it. So each individual step that's required to pull this off are going to be they're going to be written down in a process. So I've got it in like a mind map where I can drag and drop and move stuff around. And that allows me to delegate that process. Now for rules, it might be, okay, listen, if it's something customer facing, our overarching rule is if this is going to help us build more goodwill with the customer, even if it's going to cost us, a short-term loss, then make the decision for the customer. Or your decision might be, look, whatever is going to save us or make us the most amount of money, those are the decisions we're going to make. Or it might be, with regard to creative, anything that promotes our image as being, youthful, dynamic, cutting edge. Whatever it is, you're going to make a decision rule for all the decisions you make. And then you're going to make a process for all the processes. Now, there may be some decisions that are still above the pay scale of whoever you would delegate it to. That's fine. If it's a huge decision, you could say, if more than $10,000 rides on any given decision, it needs to come to me. Fine, that's another decision rule. Now, everybody on the staff knows I'm allowed to make decisions below 10,000. When it gets above 10,000, I have to go see Brett. Okay, so now you've got decisions and you've also got processes for everything. Now, the next step is to delegate or outsource each of those things. Put somebody in charge, not one person necessarily, unless you're going to hire an operations manager. You could break it up into pieces, but you're going to give this, podcast management thing to your media guy, or you're going to give your marketing or purchasing thing to your admin, or whatever you're going to do, right? If you have somebody who's more senior, that's sort of like your stand-in when you're not there, give the decision-making rules to them. And tell them when it goes above this amount, reach me. But you make all the rest of the decisions. Delegate or outsource all of it. If you don't have anybody to delegate or outsource to, go get some outsourcers. You don't even need to hire them full-time. You can pay them by the hour. They're very easy to find. Just look up outsourcing resources online or whatever it is. Put other people in charge of the work is step 3. And then step 4 is to monitor the results and modify the processes and the rules. Look, not everything's going to run smoothly without you. And at first, you're still going to have people with that knee-jerk reaction of, I got to go ask Brett. Then you just say, no. You have the process for this. You have the rule for this. Does it qualify? All right, if it's not over 10,000, you make the decision. They're going to feel empowered and feel good about having the authority to do it. And you are not going to need to be involved in every little detail of your business. So that is how you're going to do it. And then you're going to make changes. If somebody's running this process and you find that, geez, this is a mess. Okay, I need to go back and change this. And let's change this rule and add this little stipulation to the rule. Let's change this process and reverse these 2 steps. Let's add another step in here. And you make these processes and these rules organic. They're dynamic. They're changing. They're growing. As they evolve, so does your business. And it allows you to be freed up to do all the high-level strategic stuff that you want to do. So follow those 4 steps. And you can literally remove yourself from the daily operations and focus on strategic decisions and actions, which is vital to your business, vital to your bottom line overall, and to the long-term health of your business. It's a lot of work up front, so be prepared for that. But it's a ton of freedom that pays you back 100-fold and a ton of potential growth that you unlock in the long run. It's a great feeling to know that your business can run and profit even if you aren't there every single minute to make it happen yourself. Now remember, if you have any questions or business challenges, share them with me at leverageshow.com. And until next time, make it happen.